Hi, I have drowned my sorrows with 2000 hours of Rocket League, and recently I switched from KBM to controller. What this means is, I have been in Platinum rank twice, which objectively makes me the worst player to have ever touched this game. However, both times I eventually escaped. This also makes me the most qualified to talk about what it's like and how to get out. First, I'd like to mention that the 5 points in this video were fact-checked by a professional RLCS coach, and while targeted for a Platinum audience, will provide good value regardless of where you are in the ranking ladder. Before I give you the secret sauce, I'm going to go into a little bit of context. If you'd like to skip ahead, here's the timestamp, but I would strongly recommend sticking along for the first part because the context adds value to the tips I'll share later. Anyway, here's a short backstory. A long time ago, 2020, before Rocket League had been discovered in the town Nicontroller lived, people were happy. They were happy because nobody was stuck in Platinum. Nico was finding joy in the small things in life, like digging up a potato. But the happiness could not last forever, because the dawning threat of Rocket League had come about. You could either play it, or not play it. Most chose wisely, but the Nicontroller did not choose wisely, and got stuck in Platinum. So the first time about I got stuck in Platinum was about a couple months after starting Rocket League, and although I wasn't there for too long, it did not feel good. It's roughly the point where most people can't just keep improving by doing nothing else than playing with friends in the evenings every now and then. The second time I was Platinum, I was here doing my placement games after switching from keyboard and mouse to a controller, which had a similar effect on my ability to control the car as a sledgehammer to the hand would, rendering me completely unable to use my fingers to do the inputs that my mind wants to. So I've gotten out of Platinum twice, with a different approach each time. A very diverse focus on the first time around, but pure game sense on the second.
Oh, nice!
After this experience, I've compiled 5 points that I thought were the most detrimental to establish a fantastic foundation for getting out of a slump and pushing past your peak. The 5 points will go by what I believe to be from least to most impactful, but the order might be different from person to person, so take the following information with a couple grains of skepticism-infused salt. Point number 1. Touch the ball with intent. This means consciously collect as much information about the field as you can before choosing what touch to make on the ball. Where are the opponents? Where is your teammate? Or multiple teammates if, of course, you are one of those weirdos that main threes. What is the momentum of each of the players, and how far up the field are you? And then make a choice of what you want to do with the ball before you make the touch, instead of making a touch and then seeing what happens. Point 2. Don't overcommit with your challenges. While it can be tempting to simply flip into the ball whenever it seems you can 50 it or force it off the opponent, more often than not, the 50-50 will turn into something closer to a 30-70. There almost always is something safer and more efficient you can do. For example, a fake challenge can make the opponent touch the ball away from himself, or a single jump 50 can make you retain control over the ball. Point 3. Let your teammates play. In Rocket League, everyone has a slightly different playstyle. This is especially true in lower ranks where people are very far from aligning their playstyle to what's been discovered to work best. You will often come across people so ball chasey, their rotations resemble the movement of a blender. I like to call them blender rotations. But that's fine. Instead of trying to disrupt their rotations, which will most likely lead to double commits, piss him off and cause you both to lose brain cells at alarming rates, try to adapt to their playstyle as best as you can and cover what they leave exposed. Positionally speaking, of course. You can't influence what others do, only how you react to it. If they play like this, Evidently it has worked for them to be in this rank, so if you have to resort to calling your teammates shit, you are also equally shit for not being able to adapt to win in the rank you both belong in. Point number 4. Be realistic about what you can do. And I'm addressing probably over 90% of the Rocket League community with this one, so listen carefully. I understand that scoring a mechanic you've just started grinding in free play can be very satisfying, but if your goal is to win and rank up, be honest with yourself. Imagine the situation. You have a full field of space against one opponent in net. You have to move quickly to not get demoed or challenged from behind. What mechanic are you most likely to score? I'll name 3 variables that your decision should be based upon. One of them is wrong. See if you can pick out which one it is. Number 1. What mechanic will they be least likely to save? Number 2. What are you most consistent at pulling off? And number 3. What will make for the coolest clip to share with your friends? You're correct, the first 2 are wrong. Anyway, an example. In Platinum, nobody can save any hookshot with reasonable power and or placement. So in a situation where a hookshot is possible, there is no reason to do anything that is harder to do consistently. Touch the ball to the side, take an angle and bang it. Just like any problem, Rocket League is best solved with violence. Point number 5. Take and give input. This point is what has helped me the most personally, and one that seems to be vastly overlooked when people talk about improvement. As you may have heard in my other videos, I've spent a long time in a couple of Rocket League communities and coaching programs. Having a place to find people to play with, talk about the game, take advice from stronger players, and even get professional coaches to shove so many facts about the game down your throat, it effectively replaces the mind's capacity to differentiate Rocket League from reality, are all factors that can marginally increase the rate of progress for you and everyone around you. If you'd like to join a community or get coaching in Rocket League, feel free to check out the DBhubs Rocket League community. It's the place I also hang out almost every day, and their coaching is where I learned the majority of what I know about the game nowadays. Link is in the description. And to conclude this video, I would like to wish you all immeasurable amounts of fortune. Just so much fortune that everything works out, like to the point where you don't have to cook food anymore. It just kinda appears into existence by pure chance whenever you feel hungry. And it's always potatoes, boiled, mashed, stuck in a stew. Anyway, hit the subscribe button to increase the chance of that happening. And if you're curious what it's like to switch from KBM to a controller, check out the playlist documenting my journey on exactly that.